Another fun fact is that all of us are boys, and there's 4 of us. And I want to ask you, did you ever want to have girls? Or did you ever think about
No.
Hey, welcome to the channel. This is VayVonTe, where I share my story. We talk about travel, a lot of African-based stuff, mental health, inspiration, cars, things like that. Just really about me. So if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning and being loyal, today I want to introduce you to my mom, who has an amazing story coming from Jamaica to America. Now has a doctorate to her name, a doctor in front of her name. She has a doctorate degree, is what I'm trying to say. I want you guys to hear a tiny bit of her story because it's a big story, but I'm just gonna ask her some questions. I'm gonna personally get to know a little bit more about her and also let you guys tune in on it. So I'm gonna introduce her right now.
Hello. I'm Dr. Hunter. This is Maloney. Maloney is my first name. And I also go by Randy, my childhood nickname from Jamaica.
Tell them what you do now. Like, what is your profession?
Well, currently I'm an assistant principal at an elementary school in the Bronx. I inspire though to be a principal, so I am working on strengthening my skill set to sit in that seat sooner than later.
Okay, so yeah, you heard what she has to say. So like I said before, she has a really amazing story that I grew up her like always telling me and my other 3 siblings, you know, about her coming up from Jamaica and moving to the US. And she has her doctorate and she actually got it without going to high school, right?
Well, I went to high school, but I didn't graduate. I only went actually up to 7th grade.
Wow.
7th or 8th grade when I came here. So that's where it stopped for me.
You know, me hearing that as a young kid, I didn't really understand. But as I got older and I grew more wise, I'm like, wow, wait a minute. To do that without finishing high school is next level. That means your mindset has to be somewhere that 90% of people is not. So what was it like growing up in Jamaica?
Well, growing up in Jamaica with my siblings and cousins, we really didn't have a lot of money. However, we didn't consider ourselves to be poor or anything because we were rich in our lifestyle, what we had. We didn't have a lot of money, but we didn't feel that way. We grew up basically, my siblings and I, along with cousins in the same little district and friends, traveling the same path where we all started off in basic school, what we'll call primary school or nursery school here from the time we were 3 years old. Then we move on into another building and it's very small schoolhouses. And so the little district that I was born in 1969 in a little house down the hill on a Sunday morning.
Which part of Jamaica?
That was in St. Anne's, in a little district called Orange Mountain. Not a lot of people know about it. The population was probably 300-400 people, so it's very intimate. Everybody knew each other. Went to the same. If we share, sometimes like 5th and 6th grade would be combined with one teacher. So you would have to know they were very skillful in the sense that they knew. Well, 5 of us were in 5th grade and 5 of us were in 6th grade, and one teacher trying to navigate.
So it's like the setting where it's like a small school and you have people 5th grade, 4th grade all together.
Wow. Most of the time. Very strict where they expected the best from us. They held us accountable. We had to get to school on time. If we didn't get to school on time, we would get the whooping, whether it's with a dry cane or with a belt. They were permitted to give us the lashes if we're late for school. In essence, it kept us disciplined. And
how would you compare you guys' discipline back then in Jamaica to kids' discipline now in America?
It's from night to day. Because in Jamaica, everybody is a community of basically family and friends, right? So discipline is different, meaning that even an adult in the street, if you were to disrespect them, that adult could actually discipline you physically and verbally.
Wow.
Versus here, even kids in school, if you verbally discipline them, it become a case or a legal matter, or abuse. Yes. So it's from night to day.
You always grew up telling me that my grandma, which we call Nini, it's a Jamaican nickname. She and my grandfather came to New York, right? They came to New York first, or to Canada?
My mom went to Canada when she migrated, but my dad was in New York here in doing farm working, where he was picking apples and stuff like that. And he was here prior to my mom. So he would have done it seasonally and travel back to Jamaica. Come back, spend 6 months, go back. And so that was what helped to finance us in Jamaica.
Okay, so when and how did you come to Jamaica? What was that experience like?
From Jamaica to the US?
Yeah.
So when my mom left Jamaica, I think I was about 11, and because I remember getting baptized when I was 10. And then she kind of sent me to live with my grandfather because she thought that my education will be better there, schools are better. They're always looking for the best for their children. And so I remember when I moved, my brothers and my sister were left with her in St. Anne that I mentioned before, and I was in St. Catherine. So while I was in St. Catherine, she migrated to Canada. So I didn't even really see her leave. But leaving or migrating from Jamaica is always a good thing because it builds on the family moving from one stage in life to another. So it was opportunity for her and for us. So how I came here, finally she left from Canada to New York, where she met up back with Daddy. And
my grandfather. That's what we call him.
Yes, and my mom started off doing living work, where she would clean up, be a housemaid or something to that effect, however we call it. But those individuals, the family, actually sought out to sponsor her and the children, which is us. So that's how I came here. They sponsored us. She came back and got us, and I came here when I was 16.
Okay.
Me and my siblings.
Okay.
Where we came and met with her and Daddy at that point.
Okay. So now you guys heard when and how she came to America from Jamaica. It's like she said she was 16 and everything like that. So now, if you look behind us, you can see the abundance of degrees. And I want to ask, you have your doctorate, right?
Yes.
What were some of the challenges and what were the struggles you had to face to get to that point? Especially, coming from Jamaica to the US, like the culture shock, and that's a lot of stuff to mentally have to deal with. So what was that like? What were some of the struggles to get there?
Well, the struggles started when I got here and I didn't come with a high school diploma or any documents showing that I had attended school in Jamaica, because I had left. There's a whole different story to why I had not at least leave with the documents that I attended school in Jamaica, because at some point I'd stopped going to high school in Jamaica before I moved here. So there was a gap in my education anyways. I spent at least 2 years home before I migrated. So when I migrated, I didn't have what it takes to get in the proper grade in high school in New York. So they told me I would have to repeat, I think 1 or 2 grades. And I was like, there's no way. I'm 16. I'm not going back to 7th grade. I should be going to 11th grade. I'm not going to do that. So by then I started to do my own research and found that I could actually attend a business school where once I acquire 30 credits, it automatically transfer into a high school diploma. Plus I could also use that to further my college pursuits. So that's what I did. I didn't just stay there for the 30 credits of that school I attended, but I stayed there for 60 credits, where I received my first degree in business management, which is an associate degree.
It's up there somewhere. Oh, here.
Yes.
Yeah. Another question. How long did it take your Jamaican accent to fade away once you came to the US? Because I know you guys are wondering.
How long did it take my accent to fade away? I don't think I could recall how long. But the minute you get in the workforce and start dealing with others or in other schools, you learn to have to kind of decrease so that you can articulate in a manner of professionalism and I don't think I completely lose my accent, because whenever I speak anywhere, as soon as I open my mouth, people tend to wonder where I'm from. It may sound like I don't have a Jamaican accent, but I do have an accent, because again, in any meeting I attend, in anything I do, as soon as I open my mouth, I could see, they're wondering.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't necessarily think it's from the islands. They're always curious about where I'm from, because my voice or how I speak doesn't really tag to a Caribbean accent, nor does it tag to an American accent, so they're confused.
I think sometimes I get lost, because maybe it's because I'm used to hearing you so much that I don't even recognize like when the accent does pop out.
Oh yeah, it does.
Do you ever miss Jamaica? Like, think about going back there, living there, or are you content?
So I could get to that question in a minute, but the whole part of your first question with my struggles, my degree, that was the first struggle. Then I got the associate, and then it sets the pace for me. However, the reason I'm going back to that question is because when I got to my doctoral degree is when I had to be able to write in third person and be able to do extensive research. And I remember one of my professors said, I think you're going to be ABD, which is all but dissertation, meaning you will go through the work, but they can't see me finishing. And that really broke my spirit, because that what they were saying is that my writing had fragments, and so in order to have a doctoral degree, you have to be a better writer. And so what I did was force myself to be a better writer. I'm not saying that I'm a superhero writer or anything like that, but I forced myself to do better, so at least I will be, and develop the skills, yes, so I will be all but dissertation. Wow. And in fact, when I started, we had 25 people in my cohort. I think I was the only second black person in the cohort, and I always felt inferior to them. The accent as well, not confident. We had to do a lot of presentations, and at times I would cry and feel like I didn't want to bother. And in fact, I was the only one who graduated from that cohort, who didn't drop out, didn't finish. So I held my head high to say I was really proud of that achievement, because I was the only one who walked in a graduation in California. Over 500 graduates, I was the only doctoral student on the day I graduated.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Wow. By the way, I've never seen my mom cry, so that's that means there was something going on. So another fun fact, literally, me and my 3 siblings have like the same names. So it's my oldest brother, Devoy, then it's me, Devay, then it's Devran, then it's Devel. And even till this day, she gets confused and she calls us all each other's names, and we're like, yo. So how did you come up with these names? Or did the first one inspire the rest?
Yes, that's exactly it. The first one inspired the rest. So with the boy, I think I was watching All My Children or something like that after I had him in the hospital, and I had it's a soap opera, and I had like 2 days to name him. And you know how when the shows are finished and the names, the credits are going up and who did what, I saw some name with it wasn't Devoy, it was like a B, or it could have been another letter, and all I did was add the D to it. And because I wanted something different, a name that was never, that was the first time people would hear it. So, and for the rest of you, I just wanted, since you're all brothers, you all have something in common. So all your names start with a D, and all your middle names start with a D.
Oh yeah.
So it's Devoy Darnell, Devay Devonte,
from our government.
Devran Drandon, and Devel Devon.
Wow.
So the middle names weren't original. They were just, as long as they were D's. But the first name, they all had to be DEV.
extremely original. To this day, I have yet to meet anybody with my name. Never, never in my life. Not even someone close. Another fun fact is that all of us are boys, and there's 4 of us. And I want to ask you, did you ever want to have girls? Or did you ever think about
No, never, never. In fact, I prayed to never have a girl.
Wow. Why so?
Because my experience as a young girl was horrible, and I didn't want any young girl or girls or a daughter of mine to ever feel nor go through anything that I went through as a girl. So no.
Okay. So what you guys are hearing right now is pretty much like a 10% of the story. So this is like a brief introduction just so you could get to know her a little bit, because her story definitely needs to be out there. And as a son, I feel it's my responsibility. So yeah, she's gonna be back with me behind the camera to tell some more details of the story, and I feel like it'll really inspire a lot of people out there. So stay tuned, like,
Comment,
share,
subscribe.
we'll be back.